Hey there, Smart Path Academy detectives. Welcome to an explainer that is literally going to transform how you tackle your Cambridge Checkpoint English exams. You know that feeling? You walk out of a test feeling totally confident, only to get your paper back and realize, you lost easy points on the reading section. Well, if you want to stop losing marks to those super tricky true or false exam questions, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to learn exactly how to spot the hidden clues examiners leave behind. We're turning test anxiety into easy, guaranteed marks by mastering Cambridge Checkpoint Skill 27 together. Let's do this. So, here is our mission plan for today. First, we'll build your detective toolkit. Second, we're heading into basic training with some step-by-step examples. Third, we'll tackle 4 field missions inspired by real past papers. And finally, we'll uncover some common exam traps and end with a final challenge.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the detective toolkit.
Okay, let's gear up. We need to learn the specific exam vocabulary you need to crack the true-false code. You see, true and false questions aren't just about guessing, they're about proving. And to prove an answer, you have to know what the examiner is trying to use against you. The absolute most crucial concept here is the absolute word. Now, an absolute word is basically the biggest trap an examiner can set. It's a word that is so strong it leaves zero room for exceptions. Because of this, just one single absolute word can take a sentence that is, say, 99% true and turn the whole thing completely false. I really want you to memorize this red flag target list. Only, always, never, all, no, every. So whenever you see these words in a test statement, boom, alarms should go off in your head. You need to immediately check the text to see if that exact strong word actually belongs there. And spoiler alert, usually it doesn't.
Now, before we jump into reading a text, remember to follow a strict detective strategy. Step 1, read the statement first. Step 2, spot any absolute words. Step 3, go back to the text and find the exact matching line. And Step 4, compare the evidence word for word. Doing this ensures your logic is totally bulletproof.
Moving right along to part 2, basic training.
It is time to put your brand new toolkit into practice with a couple of guided step-by-step training exercises. We're going to train your brain to naturally look for these exam clues. So let's read the short text about a weather station really carefully. It says, the school weather station records temperature, wind speed, and rainfall. The station does not measure air pollution. Okay, the question asks us to tick 2 true statements. Let's look at option A, records rainfall, and option B, checked only once a day. Time to apply our strategy.
All right, so statement A is perfectly true because it matches the evidence exactly. I mean, the text directly says it records rainfall. But look at statement B. It falls straight into the trap of using that absolute word only. The text doesn't say only once a day, right? So that single word completely negates the statement, making it false. You definitely want to avoid this trap.
Let's try our second training exercise. Pay super close attention to the question here, because this time the examiner is trying to trick you by asking you to tick the false statements. That totally changes our mission. Look at statement A, all owls hunt only at night. And statement B, some owls can hunt in daylight.
Thinking aloud here, let's look at the evidence. The text explicitly says some species can hunt during the day. Well, this completely contradicts statement A, which uses those massive red flag words all and only. Because those absolute words make the statement completely wrong, statement A is the correct false statement we need to tick. Statement B matches the text evidence exactly, so it's true, and we just leave it alone.
All right, up next is part 3, field missions. You've officially completed basic training. Great job. So now, let's head into the field to tackle 4 real-world challenges inspired directly by real Cambridge Checkpoint past papers. This is where you prove your skills. In this first mission, we've got a story about a sea turtle. The text says, it was a huge upside-down turtle, causing a great commotion on the beach. We need to find the true statements. Rely entirely on your evidence-finding skills here. No guessing allowed. Look at A, the adults were standing on the beach. And look at B, the turtle was very small.
Okay, so statement A is the correct detail to tick because it's an exact match to the story's setting. However, statement B claims the turtle was very small, but our text evidence specifically uses the word huge. Because it contradicts the evidence, it's totally incorrect.
Moving on to mission 2. Now we are hunting for false statements about how chocolate is made from cacao beans. The text tells us they grow in pods on the tree and are fermented to develop flavor. Our options to evaluate are A. Cacao beans grow underground, and B. Fermentation develops flavor. Let's check the evidence.
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates why we always go back to the text. When you cross-reference statement A, you clearly see the text says the beans grow in pods on the tree, definitely not underground. This proves statement A is false, which means it's the exact box we need to tick. Statement B perfectly matches the text, so it's true, and we ignore it.
Mission 3 features the red fox, and it's a perfect test to see if you can spot a classic red flag word trying to trick you. We need to tick the true statements here. Option A claims, all red foxes are exactly the same size. Option B claims, low weight helps them move fast. Do you see the red flag? That absolute word all in statement A is a massive trap. The text actually mentions considerable size differences, meaning they are definitely not all the same size. That absolute word makes statement A completely false. So that leaves statement B as your correct, true answer, matching the evidence perfectly. Your final field mission takes you to the depths of Lake Baikal. Remember, we're looking for the false statement here. Option A says, the lake has no oxygen. Option B says, it is over 25 million years old. Keep an eye out for an absolute word that completely contradicts the provided evidence. Did you spot it? The absolute word no in statement A is the trap. The text clearly states the lake has high levels of oxygen. That tiny little word no completely negates the evidence, making statement A the false statement you need to tick. And statement B? Well, that's just a perfect match for the text's facts. Now for our last section, Part 4, Exam Traps and Final Challenge.
You've conquered the missions, but before you sit down for your actual exam, you absolutely must know how to avoid the two biggest traps that cause well-prepared students to just throw away marks. The first trap is what teachers call TM, too many boxes ticked. If the question explicitly asks you to tick 2 boxes and you get nervous and tick 3, well, Cambridge mark schemes are entirely ruthless. They will give you 0 marks. It literally does not matter if 2 of the boxes you ticked were actually correct. 0 marks. So, always follow the instructions exactly. The second trap is the half-true statement. Be incredibly careful of these. An examiner will write a long sentence where the first half is perfectly true, but then they'll sneak one tiny incorrect detail into the very end. If even one single detail in a sentence is wrong, the entire statement becomes false. Don't be lazy on this one. Read the whole sentence and demand an exact match for every single detail.
And we have reached the final challenge. Here is a text about a school app. I challenge you to pause this explainer right now. Apply everything you've learned today from Smart Path Academy. Scan for absolute words, compare the evidence, watch out for those sneaky traps, and spot the 2 true statements. You've got all the tools you need now. Keep practicing, always trust your evidence, and good luck on your exam.